Hello and welcome to Introduction to Business Planning. So today we're going to be looking at what a business plan is and how to fill in the different parts of it and give you some resources to help you fill it all in. So first of all, why would you use a business plan? There's usually two kinds of business plans, one for investment, so that might be banks, lenders or investors, and also the other kind of business plan is for your own reference, what to do first and how to do it. Looking a bit more in depth at these different plans, when you need money, this is a plan to give to bank, lender or investor, and they'll want to see a finished, nicely presented, formal business plan. So the plan's a snapshot in time, it's quickly out of date, depending on what time of year you start. But the main thing is that it shows exactly what your plans are at this moment in time. Pretend the reader is from Mars, assume they know nothing about your industry, explain everything. Say how much money you're looking for and how you're going to spend it. The banker is going to be looking carefully at the executive summary, your skills and experience, and the figures. If you're borrowing money, the figures are the most important part, and you have to be able to show how you're going to be able to meet the figures in the business plan and repay the loan. Can you include photos, diagrams, pictures, or examples of your work? Those are all great resources to bring the whole business plan to life. Do you have anything to back up the assumptions that you've made in your business plan? So that might be research, statistics, sales that you've already made, contacts you already have. For investors, you really need to answer the questions, why should I invest in you and what returns will I get? So this plan needs to show good growth, returns, and detailed financial information. If you're doing the second kind of business plan, which is just a plan for yourself, a rough working version, it can be much more informal. You can either use our one-page business model canvas to look at the elements of your business in one place. That's simply one page with lots of different headings showing all the different parts of your business and what you need to do. Or you could have a lever arch file with lots of card dividers with different headings, maybe one called premises, one called marketing, etc. And then start collecting notes, thoughts, and questions as you go along. Make a things to-do list under each heading of the plan. Keep your writing short so the plan's easy to update. You might have unfinished bits, scraps of paper, post-it notes, scribbles, questions. They're all fine. As long as you can make sense of them, pop them in the file. You can stick your goals or aims where you can see them every single day, and then your plan should contain the steps to help you get there. The most important thing is keeping everything up to date with your financial records and forecasts and moving forecasts on the go so you can look at what you predicted and what you actually did in the business. Good business plans, once you finish reading them, should convince you that this is a great idea and give you confidence about starting the business. And overall, that's really what we're looking for here. This is the basic outline of most full business plans. So you don't need to fill in every single bit of the business plan, but having these headings will ensure that you haven't missed out any important parts of your business's story. So for example, I had a business plan in from a young person who wanted to start a music video production company. He had zero turnover, he's claiming universal credit from a bedroom in Lanarkshire, he didn't have any equipment, and it didn't list any contacts or contracts that he had. And his business plan was showing he was going to earn £1 million the first year. The numbers didn't match what his business plan was telling us, or what we were seeing as the situation. But when we spoke to them about it, it turns out that his brother-in-law was a producer of huge recording studios specializing in rappers in LA. But his brother-in-law wasn't mentioned anywhere in the business plan. So it's really important that whatever your business plan says, it tells the whole story of your business. And we're going to cover each of these sections in more detail today. So first of all, the executive summary. The executive summary is easiest to write and after you've filled in all the details of your business plan. So you come back to do it last, essentially. Think of it like your business plan's elevator pitch. You've got a short amount of time in a lift to explain the whole idea, someone traveling up with you, and you want them to be able to understand the business plan and what it does as they get out of the lift. Do this last, as I said, and it should be a short overview of the whole business plan, no longer than one page. The next section is purpose of the plan. So this is going to explain what you want from the reader. Do you want a loan? If you're looking for a loan, explain where else you've looked for funding and why you can't fund it yourself. If you're looking for investment from the council, stress the number of jobs that it creates, how it encourages commerce in the local area, Maybe it's going to reinvigorate the high street by having a high street location. Is it going to be a high profile industry for the area? Perhaps it simply protects the business from failure or improves the design, skills, marketing of the business. Or maybe this plan is just for your own reference and you don't even need this section. Remember, it's your business plan. You need to feel comfortable with how you have written it. Next section is the business details. These are contact details for the bank. So remember, be professional. If your email address is crazychick98@hotmail.co.uk, don't use it for the bank. Just get another free one and use the business name if possible. Make sure that all the details are up to date and that you're going to be able to respond to them. So does your phone get answered? Does it have an answer phone? Does it have a call answering service on it? Do you check their email regularly? Can you get posted the email at the address that you've listed? Make sure that you explain what the business does in simple language. We're looking for a very simple explanation of what you do in a snapshot. Products or services is the next section. This section is going to show what products or services you sell, what sort of pricing structure you're going to have, and how much money you're going to make from this. So if you can demonstrate the products or service using pictures, do it here. Perhaps you've got some pictures of products, perhaps you've got maybe a little flow chart of what you're going to do as a service. Anything visual that you can do to bring this to life is a great idea. The next section is market. So we're going to go into this in more detail on the marketing workshop that we do, which helps you identify who your target market's going to be. You can access those under begateway.com/events. But I'll quickly go through the different parts of this in the business plan. So first of all, you're looking for market research. In this section, you want to demonstrate that you have enough knowledge of the market to be able to reach customers and convince them to buy from you. So you need to know the size of the market, trends, what customers want, why they would buy from you. And our business information team can help with this research. But you may also want to add your own primary research, such as surveys, Facebook polls, trends you've noticed. But if you do need some help from the business information service, you can contact them via phone on 0300 013 4753. Secondly, in the market section, you really want to speak about your competitors. You have to show that you understand who your competitors might buy from, customers might buy from apart from you. So sometimes this isn't direct competitors, in other words, people doing the same thing as you, but it might also be the client themselves. Let's say a client valeting their own car, for example, or it could be a product or service that they get from someone else. Like a bank offering people free coffee right next door to your coffee shop. It's not going to be a great idea. So you might want to do competitor analysis in here. So that's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to show that you can understand the market, and also include your own SWOT analysis to show where you're placed in the market against these competitors. What advantages do your business have over others? What disadvantages do you have? You also want to include in here a little bit about your pricing. Where did you get your pricing from? Did you base it on costs? Did you base it on what other people charge? Where does it sit in the market? Is it premium pricing? Is it budget pricing? You need to explain why you're charging what you're charging. You also want to explain here a little bit about distribution. How do customers get your product or service? Do you have people selling for you? If so, do you have contracts in place for that? Have you allowed for delivery and packaging costs within that pricing? You also want to look at branding design in here. It really helps to have some branding or design examples, maybe a mood board to show the aesthetics of some of the business. You can use canva.com to create these. Canva also have some really great business plan templates. So if you want to have a look at theirs and see how they've laid things out and what they've included, it can make your business plan look really great. The other thing to include in the marketing section is promotion and selling. How are people going to find out about you? Do you have a marketing calendar in place? Have you got any promotional plans? Pop all of that into this section here. Operations. So this is really about who's going to be in the business. Do you need a team organogram if you're going to intend to hire staff? Do they need qualifications or experience? Are they full or part-time? What job specs do they have? If you've got any other partners critical to running the business, these might not even be employees, but they might be, say, your accountant, a lawyer, distributors, partners, suppliers. Include their details in here and why you've chosen to work with them. If it's just going to be you, you really need to explain what your experience is in the industry and how you're going to manage your time as an owner-operator. What do you need to run the business? Perhaps you've got premises. If so, why did you pick these premises? What makes it a good location? Have you had any legal advice on what business format to use? Is it a limited company? Is it a sole trader? If you've got suppliers, do you have any alternative suppliers? What happens if they go bust or they're not able to sell to you anymore? What do you need to give them in order to trade? Do they need special proof of your status? Do they need a VAT number? You need to check that with the suppliers. If you've got any intellectual property within the business, that could be logos, branding, inventions, specific ways of doing things. Have you protected it? Have you made sure that nobody else can copy you? You also need to think about insurance, and we go into a little bit more detail in this on the cash flow projection workshop we run in terms of being able to get prices for that. Do you need any permits or permissions? Perhaps there's something you need in order to be able to trade. Pop that into this operational section as well. If you've got technology, perhaps a website, or you need certain software in order to run the business, you need to specify that in the operational part of the business plan. Show how you do things. Maybe you've got some standards in place. What sort of quality is your product or service going to be? Are there any service standards or quality standards that you must legally meet or that you want to meet? So ISO 9001, a living wage employer, perhaps you offer a quick turnaround time of work. Maybe there's a guarantee attached to what you do. Perhaps you've got really great green credentials, and that's a really important part of the operations of your business. Next section is finance, and this is where you get a chance to explain the assumptions that you've made in your cash flow plan. So if you can think about the cash flow being the numbers bit of your business, the business plan is really the words of your business, the story of your business. If you've estimated the sales per month, what did you base that on? If you think stock's going to cost you £5 per month, or £5,000 a month, did you get quotes from suppliers to back that up? Why did you choose that supplier? Were they the cheapest, the best quality? Did you get quotes from any other costings? Have you got any finance from elsewhere? If so, explain where the grant or loan funding came from and how much it was. As I said, we do a cash flow workshop and video. So if you need to have a wee look at that, we can send you the link for it as well. Ask your Business Gateway advisor. The finance part of the business plan is also a chance to explain what the longer term aims of the business are. Is your business always going to be a one-man band? Do you plan to grow the business? Maybe you're going to franchise it. Perhaps the plan is to sell it in a couple of years' time. The lender's going to want to know what the long-term plans are in order to protect their investment. So what happens to the loan if you plan to retire and stop working in the business in the next 2 years? Or is there an opportunity for them to get their money back quicker if you sell to a larger firm? Also, what happens if the whole industry or economy crashes? What contingencies do you have in place? What happens, say, if costs rise by 20% or if sales fall by 20%? This is a chance for you to explain that you've really thought about the numbers in your business. The next section, it's the last one in this particular business plan, is where you put the proof of what you're saying. If you're going to include all the material in the main business plan, it would be exceptionally long. But this is basically a chance for you to put the nitty-gritty details in the appendices. So if somebody wants to look them up, they can. You refer to them to the appendices where you can put further detail on what you've mentioned in the main business plan. You might just have a fact or a figure in the main business plan and then refer them to the proof in the appendices. Things that you might want to include in the appendix is maybe a full CV of you and any partners, key person employees. You might also want to include any surveys or research that you've conducted. Perhaps you might want to include your marketing calendar, showing what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how much it's going to cost. You also probably want to include any contracts that you've got, leases on premises, supply contracts, customer contracts. You may even want to include letters of support here from clients, from other organizations, showing that you're really serious and have a network of people willing to help you in the business. If you've had in quotes, show the detail of where you've got the costs from in here. You can include the quote in the appendices. So that's really the main body of the business plan, and hopefully we've given you some top tips on what to fill in there. There is a business plan template that your Business Gateway advisor can send you. But these are a few useful links that you might want to have a wee look at. We've got the Business Information Service. They can help with any industry reports or trends, pricing, etc. Perhaps even with some contacts of people that you might want to speak to. There's also Property Search, which could give you an idea of sort of pricing and what the average price is in areas for different premises. We've also got Rates Assessor info. Again, that helps you to figure out whether or not you're going to have to pay business rates. And we've got a link there to the Startup Loans Company, which shows what you might be expected to pay back as a loan. So a few useful links there. In summary, we have a sample business plan that we can send you probably for your industry. Do ask your Business Gateway advisor for that. They may well have one for you that you can have a look at. Use Google, ask your business advisor if they've got a business plan example for your industry. When you've got your business plan, it should convince the reader, whether that's you, the bank, your investors, that this is a really great idea and that you can do it. Make sure that you back up any assumptions you made in the business plan with research. It's your chance to really demonstrate that you've thought deeply about this, and this isn't sort of fly by night thing. It's something you've really thought about and considered all the different options. So your next step is really to complete the cash flow template to insert into the financial section. Go back and complete the executive summary. Remember, we said that that's easy to fill in after you've done all the different parts of the business plan. If you've got the whole business plan complete, email it to your Business Gateway advisor. If you get stuck, they're there to help. Call or email them. If you aren't sure who your Business Gateway advisor is, please give them a call, the admin team a call on 01698 756 956, or you can email northlan@bgateway.com or southlan@bgateway.com, depending on which council area you live in. So I hope that's informative, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.